Hi, this is Cheryl. I was just listening to some music. I was listening to Kid Rock, American Badass. And I am reading a book called You Are a Badass. And I wanted to read a little bit from it. Our thoughts are the most powerful tools we've got. I think, therefore, I can create awesomeness or horrendousness. But the bottom line is, it's through our thoughts that we create our realities. It's also why buying into whatever illusion you're living in the present moment is selling yourself short. So if it's anything less than what you truly desire, you created the reality you now exist in with your thoughts, which means you can use the very same power of thought to change it. As Wallace Wattles, author of The Science of Getting Rich, so brilliantly states, to think what you want to think the truth, regardless of appearances. I was reading this. This is by Jen Sincero, and it's a really good book. And it stresses the importance of loving yourself. You have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. And if you are having trouble with that, I suggest counseling. Counseling helps a lot. Okay. I pulled some cards and I put a rose quartz on it and cleanse the decks. I think counseling is very important. It's good to take care of your mental health. And don't let other people bring you down. Your life is yours, and you have to do things for yourself. And tonight is the full moon in Libra. Go out and make that moon water and do meditation. I did a full moon and Libra meditation earlier. Meditation is great. I highly suggest meditation to everyone. Best way to meditate is outside by a tree, but any place you meditate is good. If you don't do anything else for yourself, try meditation. You can find meditations on YouTube, or there's classes that have meditations. Okay, we got 4 cards. 31, 1, 13, and 47. Call of the Muse, Earth Magic, Feeling the World, Sacred Reverence. This might be kind of a long tarot reading because I pulled 4 decks, so that's what I was called to do. Key concepts: creative expression, being in the flow of creativity, tuning into inspiration, allowing creativity without being self-conscious, writing and journaling as a means of connection. When you feel the call of the muse, you are being invited to create. So be the artist choreographing your life, serving on behalf of the great artist, divine source. While the process feels intensely personal, your ego and self-identification are ironically the most unnecessary parts of the equation. While you might think you own the magic of your creativity, can you truly say you're the source of inspiration? Similar to the Spirit of Genius card from 29, imagine your creativity stemming from another spirit guide, the muse. Just as the genius needs to partner with your intellect, so does the muse need you to open your heart and let magic flow through your intuition and emotions. Stop seeing yourself as the center of the process. Instead, see yourself as a partner in the creative dance. Sometimes you might be inside the music and the feelings, the story and its expression. Other times you observe from the sidelines, watching it all flow from an unknown yet deeply intimate source. Today, your muse is calling you to be a channel and allow the creative energy to flow through you. The energy of emotion is waiting to be given a voice, a name, a shape, a color. Journal, finish that writing project, start something new, paint, sing, dance. And don't worry where any of it lands. It has its own plans for you. Your muse knows where this is all meant to go. For you, the big magic is in the experience of answering the call. And I suggest journaling. Earth magic. Being grounded in nature, the quiet, dark place where all things begin, where essence is first ignited before manifestation, knowing you are part of the earth and she is part of you. Earth magic speaks to the intrinsic relationship that you and all living things have with the consciousness of the earth, also known as Gaia. Imagine the oak tree that begins its journey as an acorn, gathering the life force energy it needs from the earth so it can sprout up from the ground. Because you are part of nature, you follow the same cycle of manifestation. Everything you are, your evolution and the successful manifestation of your dreams, begins below the surface of consciousness until an idea comes, conviction takes hold, and something meaningful can be planted. Be still for a moment, quiet your thoughts, and imagine anchoring your energy to the sacred quality of being part of this living earth. Do this mindfully to connect to this divine intelligence with the power to create the perfect form from the essence of a tiny spark of life. Indeed, this is miraculous. This message now is to trust that the seeds you planted in your field of dreams are in good hands. The earth is a conscious divine source of love that is doing its part on your behalf. Slow down, take in the beauty of your life now, and trust that what you are intending is being nourished and is growing. There will be plenty of time later to tend to your garden, to water it, and to weed it. Great magic is germinating underground, working its way to the surface to deliver more blessings than you can imagine. Let it. Feeling the world. Sensitivity to the feelings of others, awareness of the whole world, and a broader perception, empathy, overload, and overwhelm. Empathy reminds you that you are not alone. It is a beautiful capacity to feel the connectivity all around you, giving you a profound sense of belonging, a broader experience of being part of the larger whole. That said, it can also be overwhelming, especially when you don't know where you end and the rest of the world begins. Now is the time to be clear about your boundaries. Ask yourself whose energy you've tuned into. You might find it's not even yours. If you're feeling off or drained when you're with someone, they may be siphoning your energy. In such an instance, this connection is not good for you, no matter how charismatic the person is or how attracted to them you feel. Do not mistake codependency for closeness or allow your boundaries to become too porous. Trust your instincts and take care of you. Practice saying no. Avoid the temptation to turn off and go numb. Instead, be present. Somewhere in the middle of this feeling spectrum is where the magic is. You're also being asked now to be aware of how your words and actions may affect others. While it's not your job to determine how someone will respond to you, discernment is necessary. Be firm yet kind. Keep in mind that people-pleasing will not give you what you truly need. That said, your empathy is beautiful and important. It just has to be balanced in order for you to access its wondrous gifts. Today, celebrate the beauty of your sensitivity and that of others. That's true. Don't be a people pleaser. Be yourself. And some people might like you and some people might not, and that's okay. You just have to be yourself. And not everybody understands every person, and you just have to be with who understands you. Sacred reverence. Awe for the truth that spirit is everywhere, inspiration coming through to you as a result of reverence, joyful living, exploring possibilities with curiosity, spiritual passion, manifesting from the starting point of the realm of spirit. Looking at the world, do you see all of life or only a limited part? When you look at a blade of grass, do you just see a plant? When you encounter a puppy, do you just see an animal? While this categorizing is one way of viewing the world, it's only a fraction of the truth. It isn't enough. Look closer and you'll observe the luminosity immanent in these living sentient beings. If you can allow yourself to take in the world, including its spirit, then you can see the whole. Reverence is an act of deep witnessing, respect, and awe. You experience it when you perceive every being and everything, every plant, rock, and tree as sacred and alive. You naturally lean into a state of bliss and harmony and a profound sense of well-being. Whatever your dilemma or question, try to reframe your perspective to acknowledge the spiritual. If everything has value, including your most frustrating challenges, would you still ask your question from the same place? Can you regard the other as sacred, thereby erasing the separation between you? Embracing the perfection of how you came together is real magic, and you're tapping into this unity right now. No matter who or what is in front of you, see that person or thing as luminous and your interaction is holy. Then you will know what to do for the highest good of all. Okay. Next deck is the Halloween Oracle. Okay, we got 2 cards. That's good for this deck. Dawn, Light After Darkness, and Vampire, Emotional Intelligence. Okay. Vampire. The deepest, the coldest, the craving of the blood, the hole never filled, with longing like a flood. Whilst there are almost unaccountable examples of vampires in literature, movies, and games, somehow the archetype of blood-hunting, night-stalking, and somewhat elegant creature keeps being reinvented, seduce yet another generation. Although the beautiful and somewhat desirable vampire form didn't really begin to enter the public consciousness until the mid-1800s, the idea of a human feeding upon the very stuff of life is much older. The Egyptians, Sumerians, Indians, and the Balkan people all have mythos containing vampire-like creatures. The vampire is an interesting figure because it is both horrifying and desirable. Having someone want us so much that they desire to be closely linked with us does feel good until we realize there's nothing much left of us to give. Most of us have heard of the concept of emotional vampirism, the idea that people feed off our energy and our goodwill and take advantage of us through manipulation and their incessant neediness. Should the vampire card appear in your reading, it may indicate that you're being drained in this way and the time has come for stronger boundaries. We need to be very aware of what gives us energy in our lives and what takes it away. We should be aware of needing people to need us and why we invite people like this into our homes, workplaces, and lives. If indeed we have them around us, developing the emotional intelligence within ourselves helps us defend against this kind of emotional and psychic attack, enables us to foster healthy, equal relationships of all kinds. And boundaries are very important. You have to be there for you. And you have to set limits on who you give your energy to. Dawn. The light after the darkness. After the darkest times, the sun will always rise. The dawn will always come. This can be no surprise. Whilst midnight is often thought of as a magical hour, throughout the time, dawn has also had its share of the mystical. All manner of magical beings had to return to their true forms by dawn. Werewolves, for example, and vampires could only be active while the rays of sun did not pierce the sky. Dawn and deities of dawn heralded both hope and new life. Goddesses such as Oster and gods like Helios and Apollo were those who brought new life to the dawn's light into the world. The journey from the darkest night of the soul to a bright and hopeful dawn is one of the deepest and most powerful hero's paths repeated over in mythology. Should you receive the Dawn card, you're being reminded that there is always a fresh start and new beginning to be had. Change is unstoppable, and even the most difficult times will pass, no matter how devastating they may seem. Hope is one of the most powerful motivating forces in the universe, and is being indicated here. And spring now, the robins are out, and it's time for new beginnings. So make your moon water and set your intentions. You can put your moon water outside or in the window, in whatever kind of container you'd like. Time to plant new seeds and have new beginnings. And this is the Journey into Hidden Realm deck. This is my favorite deck because of the pictures. So far we have 9 of Pentacles, 2 of Pentacles, the Empress, and Strength. And the 9 of Pentacles has a woman with a bird on her fingers. Looks like a robin. And I've been watching the robins. And the 2 of Pentacles has a girl that's has some flowers and she's kind of thinking. And the Empress has a lady holding apples. And she has red hair. And Strength card has a lady with a wolf protecting her. And I'll read from the book to get the meanings. And Temperance, it's the lady pouring water out of a glass from one glass to the other glass. And the sun is a lady, looks like a lady and her daughter. And the daughter has a flower. And the sun is out. See if there's any more cards that want to come out. Knight of Swords. This is a man holding a sword with an eagle flying over him. He looks very protective. Okay, I think that's good. Nine of Pentacles. Success and achievement are a couple of life's sweet rewards. This card marks the sense of satisfaction that comes from hard work. Sometimes great achievements are a group effort, but the Knight of Pentacles focuses on your individual effort. It also speaks of doing the work of your heart, of always doing what you know to be good and true. This is about the life you've created for yourself and taking time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. There's a sense of solitude with this card, which can be a blessing. However, while you may feel protective of your life, there's always ways to share without giving away everything. Two of Pentacles. Sometimes humans get caught up in the vicious vortex of more, better, faster. Uncontrolled growth is reckless, dangerous, and irresponsible. Or sometimes life just throws a lot at us. The Two of Pentacles suggests a balanced, slow approach. Part of the balance includes being very aware of how your actions in this world affect the spirit world. If your projects and actions are not rooted in spirit, they will not manifest in a healthy manner. Take a breath, slow down, pay attention, see what you're really doing and what is really happening in your life. The Empress. Life is indeed a cycle with many phases. The Empress card, though, comes at a time of abundance in your life. Whatever you have carefully nurtured and tenderly cared for is on the verge of reaching its highest potential. This is a time of great creativity for you. If you've not yet planted anything, choose carefully because your heart and your life are fertile. Whatever you sow, whatever thoughts, words, feelings, or actions, will surely grow and bear fruit. Tend to yourself and your life with a loving touch. When necessary, remember that loving kindness sometimes requires difficult actions. Plants need space to flourish, and some need pruning to thrive. Strength. In a card named Strength, one might expect amazing feats of physical prowess or defeating foes. In the hidden realm, there's another kind of strength and the specific kind of challenge. We all have our wild parts, aspects of ourselves that have grown careless or reckless or fearful through life experiences that left us wounded, or parts of ourselves that society or individuals have told us are shameful. We deem these parts unlovable and hide them away. But they don't stay hidden, lashing out instead in surprising ways that we cannot seem to control. Those parts of us have value. This card represents the most difficult kind of strength, the strength to face and love ourselves, to accept and heal, and eventually integrate so that we can be whole again. This journey is ongoing, for just as we heal one wound, another often appears. In reading, this card lets you know that whatever your question, inner healing and forgiveness are part of the answer. So work on healing. And healing is best to do alone. That's the best way to heal, is to be alone. And learn to love yourself and just be by yourself and find your passions and learn to love yourself. Temperance. They say that a mark of any true professional is that they make whatever they do look easy. Moving easily and beautifully through life doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice and a discipline. Life brings all sorts of challenges. The environment of your life changes all the time. Maintaining balance in a chaotic world is subtler than mixing equal parts of work, play, and sleep. When temperance shows up in a reading, you know that a situation has powerful elements that could potentially throw you off course, but that you can, with some effort, resist by being controlled by outside influences. It means, though, that you must retain control of yourself. Emotional and spiritual maturity are necessary to understand all the forces at work and to make the best choices in order to receive the results you desire. The Sun. The sun shines on whatever reading this shows up in, giving even more pleasure and happiness to a positive situation while bringing optimism and determination to a more challenging one. The energy here is easy to understand. Just imagine a perfect summer day. Imagine that you have no obligations that day. Imagine forgetting for now the problems of the past and the tasks in your future. It's a blank slate, warm and golden, waiting for you to write your joy on. Children know what dandelions are associated with luck and the granting of wishes, and that lazy summer days are for enjoying. This card represents a gift. Don't question it. Don't worry about how to best use it. Just relax into it and be grateful. And the Knight of Swords. This card represents a person who is driven and optimistic. He always seems so clear about his goals and aspirations. He is intelligent and motivated by ideas and ideals rather than emotion. He understands his own mind. He knows what he wants and can determine how to achieve it. While his motives are pure, he is so single-minded and ideal-driven that he can forget to consider the feelings and needs of others. He moves quickly and decisively, always convinced that he is doing the right thing. And the last deck I'm going to do is the Animal Spirit Guidebook. And that's true, you got to think about yourself, but you have to think about others too. Whoa, a bunch of cards fell down. And I do these readings just to try to help others and maybe make you think about things that you didn't think about before and try to help. And can help me as well as you. Okay. That's an awful lot of cards. I don't think I'm going to take all those cards. Maybe one more card. Okay. The tiger, dragonfly, swan, and camel. Okay. Dragonfly. Master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder and awe. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing when the dragonfly card appears. It's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind so the light of wisdom can shine through. When in balance, sees clearly, joyful, magical. When out of balance, can't concentrate, busy mind. To bring into balance, focus on the breath. I don't think I've ever pulled the camel card. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease, even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger. The camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance, fire and water, and being responsible for one's own reactions. The camel is a wonderful traveler and especially fond of trips to faraway lands. When in balance, calm, content, sparkle an eye. When out of balance, dehydrated, lacks vitality. To bring into balance, a pilgrimage. Swan. Effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, elegant power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard. An inner vision is likely to be revealed. When in balance, infinite creative power. When out of balance, agitated, snippy, lacking vision. To bring into balance, solo time and writing. Like I said earlier, solo time is very important. The last card is Tiger. Oh, there it is. I don't know that I've pulled this card either. Lunar force, ease and darkness, feminine energy. The tiger hunts at night, at one with the silence, fearing nothing. This card reminds us to take in the wild darkness, to allow the lunar forces to soothe and heal our spirits. Sensuality, receptivity, and devotion are all heightened in the midnight hour, and the tiger takes advantage of these boons. Spend some time in silence this evening, drinking in the potent calm. There's nothing to fear in the stillness except the awakening of your own power. When in balance, passionate, strong, sensual. When out of balance, overstimulated. To bring into balance, Tradaka, candle gazing. So maybe tonight for the full moon, just sit in stillness with a candle and maybe meditate, and then make some moon water and set your intentions for this full moon. And I hope some of these messages resonated with you. And thank you so much for watching my channel. And have a great day and a great full moon. Thank you.